It is time now for our rants and raves, and I'm going to start right there with you, Lila.
Oh, hi. So I have a rare rant for MSNBC's guests during the political coverage on Tuesday. Take a listen.
Every Democrat just put the razor blades and the Ambien back in the medicine cabinet. We're going to be fine.
So I get that people are freaked out. I get that the guests are trying to be reassuring, and I get that we're not trying to be nonpartisan anymore. But I just think that was so unhelpful. The other guests who sounded like they were on the verge of tears, the drama, the cringy jokes about suicide. I think there's a missed opportunity to be calm and rational and to tell people to wait and to remind them that election results are not instant. We waited till December 12th back in 2020. There was a chance here to really just talk about the news instead of looking for mass hysteria, and they missed it.
Plus, enough
also,
already.
I'm a pretty casual guy, but the dress code there from James Carville.
James Carville?
I wasn't going to go there.
Talk about the Wayback Machine. All right, Dan.
I have a rave for CNN's John King, the master of the magic wall. He obviously did a great job in walking viewers through, just digging and drilling deeply into various counties and towns. But really what I want to highlight here is the fact that along the way, he took the time to sort of ratchet people back, take a step back, take a deep breath. If you're on one side of the aisle and you see your candidate is doing well, we just got the counting started. Don't read too much into this. If you're on the other side and you're getting upset, there's a long haul ahead. So he was really just,
he was great.
Time and time again, asking people to be patient. And then he used the word transparent quite a bit too, right? We're going to show you exactly what we're doing here. He was throwing you back to a lot of 2016 to give more context to his reporting. He almost went overboard, but you can't go overboard on these things too much. And every time they came back out of a commercial break, he would start, it was like reboot. I'm going to warn you again about
fantastic.
this. And he did a fantastic job.
Fantastic. And I was so thrilled to see him back this morning at 6 a.m.
I know. I don't know how he does that.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, John.
Just real quickly, John King is great, but I got to give some love to my buddy Steve Kornacki from MSNBC, the pride of Groton, Massachusetts, who at one point had a camera on him even when he wasn't on the air. They called it the Kornacki cam. The poor guy couldn't even blow his nose or eat a sandwich or anything. So my rave is for the fact checkers. A very beleaguered, stressed group. I mean, I get hate mail from both left and right, but nothing like the heat that these men and women take. And boy, did they provide over the last 4 years in particular, a crucial public service. Particular kudos to Daniel Dale of CNN, who, even though he must be mind-numbingly bored, he will point out and keep track of how many times a certain lie is repeated. So he might do 100 columns in a row pointing out the same lie. It's like, what it must be like being a member of the grassroots and playing In My Midnight Confession every night for 30 years. But he does a great job.
He does. All right, Adam.
I have a local rave for Rich Parr, who is the research director at the MassInc polling group. Also, I think a former GBH employee, for what that's worth. Right after the election, he dove into the numbers here in Massachusetts and discovered something really fascinating, which is the communities in which Trump gained relative to 2016, many of which tend to be in keeping with national trends, heavily Latino communities, with Lawrence, of all places, leading the way, which is initially might seem counterintuitive, but then you remember that William Lantigua, the former Lawrence mayor, was in his own way a sort of a local Trumpy figure. But I love those sort of analyses, and he was on it instantly, and it's fascinating stuff.
And the Globe picked up his story but didn't credit him. Oh, well.
This is true.
Okay. Yeah. And I have a rave tonight for the BBC. We get so insular here in America. We think something like what happened last night on TV with Trump only affected Americans. Not true at all. Here's commentator Ross Atkins on the BBC last night.
So the last 2 days are not entirely a surprise, but reaction around the world shows us the president still has the capacity to shock. For better or for worse, this is not American democracy as people normally see it.
So British. I just loved it. And he went on for quite a while. It was just terrific and so well said. And, you just see how that kind of, how it reverberates throughout the world, not just in our kitchens right here in America.